Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Shannon and this is Glam by Shan. Today I am so excited to do this tag video. I'm going to be doing the eyeshadow palette tag. This tag was created in collaboration with Samantha March and Allie Glines. I will link both of their channels and their videos down below. I love both of them so much. They bring so much joy to my YouTube space, and I love their videos and them as people. Okay, so there are 13 questions that I have down in front of me. If you're ready to watch this video and I tag you to do this tag, let's get started. So the first palette is your newest, and mine is the ColourPop and Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters palette. This just came out with ColourPop. The color story is so reminiscent of the Hocus Pocus movie aesthetic, the witches, all of the above. I love Hocus Pocus. That is my favorite thing about Halloween, is being able to watch it almost every weekend, at least once, because it is my favorite in tie with Halloween Town. It is my favorite Halloween movie, and it is based in Salem, Massachusetts, and I am from Massachusetts, so kind of has a special place in my heart. And I went to college in Salem, so I have gotten use out of this palette a little bit so far. I did a look with the green shades and with the purple pinkish shades. Those are both up on my Instagram if you're interested in seeing them. So this is my newest. My oldest palette, I have two. I did get them at the same time. These are the Urban Decay Naked 2 and Naked 3 palettes. If you don't know what they look like, I will open them up for you. But this is Naked 2, nice and cool toned. And this is Naked 3, super rosy and mauvey and beautiful. I believe my fiance, who was my boyfriend at the time, gave me this one, and my parents gave me this one, both on the same birth date. So that was cool. I had two brand new eyeshadow palettes to play with, so that was very exciting. And this was back in 2014, maybe 2013. So these are old, but that's okay. I keep them for sentimental value, and I do dip into them every once in a while, so I can't part with them. All right, my most expensive palette is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Natasha Denona is very, very pricey. I was gifted this from friends a few years ago, and I'm very grateful for them for giving it to me. It was very sweet of them. But this is the palette. Beautiful mustardy gold tones with pops of blue. One of my favorite palettes to use during the holiday season, just because it's so gold and happy and Christmassy, and I don't know, I just like it. The next is your most affordable palette, and that is definitely the Profusion Mauves palette. I would also tie this with the e.l.f. Bite Size Quads, but this, in my opinion, is even better than that. Just saying. This is a beautiful mauve color story. I got mine at Walmart, and it is $5 for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 shades, Shannon. Math. This performs so beautifully. This shimmer shade is by far my favorite. It looks almost like a pressed glitter, but it is definitely a shimmer shade, and it is so, so beautiful. Highly recommend this formula. Next is an everyday palette, and I am going to choose the Emily Edit the Needs palette. So this is in collaboration with Makeup Revolution and Emily Noel here on YouTube. This palette has everything you could ever need for an everyday face, and it is very hard to open. There we go. It has 6 eyeshadow shades, a setting powder, a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. So it is perfect for an everyday look, perfect for travel also. For me personally, these pans are a little bit too small to get my brush into, especially the bronzer shade. So I just take my giant brush, I pinch it at the ferrule, and I just kind of stamp it in there, and then I put it to my face, and then it's totally fine. So I love this palette for every day. My most colorful palette is the e.l.f. and J. Kissa to the Rescue palette. This is a beautiful rainbow palette that came out this summer with e.l.f. in collaboration with J. Kissa here on YouTube. Some of the profits for this palette went to a dog rescue in LA for pit bulls, so I thought that was awesome and I totally wanted to support it. So far, I have used the purples, the blues, the greens, the yellows. Red scares me. So I haven't used the reds yet, but I definitely love to play with color. As you can see per my eyeshadow today, I love to play with color and it makes me feel so incredibly artistic, and that's not something that I feel very often. So this is my most colorful palette. My smallest palette is very expensive. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Quad. There are 4 shades in here. This palette is very pricey. I got it on sale and with a gift card at Sephora, so I justified it very well with those 2 means. But this is beautiful. Also a great everyday palette, especially for someone who likes mauve-y, rosy neutral tones. This palette is definitely for you. This shade, the topper shade here, is so pretty. Even just by itself, total one and done look you can do with that shade. I'm sorry, I'm blinding you, but this palette is absolutely beautiful. Really, really love the quality of this. Totally worth the hype. Also, Charlotte Tilbury quads. To the contrary of smaller palettes, my biggest palette. That's definitely the NYX Ultimate Utopia 40 pan eyeshadow palette. This thing is a monster. It is so big in comparison. I can hold it with both of my hands and it's bigger than my face. It's very big. They do sell this palette in their smaller form, which I believe is 15 shades, and then in an even smaller form, which I believe is 6 shades. So if you didn't need this whole big monster, you can get a smaller version and a medium version. I've seen both of the smaller one and the medium one at Target and at Ulta. I got mine at Ulta with a gift card. This thing is just massive, but the color story screams fall to me. I actually used this on my eyes today, so I'll show you the shades that I used. I used this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. All the purple shades on my eyes today. Makes me extremely creative. I don't love the way that it's laid out. I wish it was a little more cohesive with all of the purples together, all of the browns together, but I understand why it's not. I guess that would be the only con with this palette, but I really love the way the shadows perform. They work beautifully with all kinds of brushes, natural and synthetic haired bristles. I think that this is definitely worth the money. So if you're interested, pick it up. Oh, I love this one. Share your palette with the best memory. So I have 2, it's kind of cheating, but the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop the Zodiac palette and the Kathleen Lights and ColourPop Dream Street palette. I wore both of these palettes the day that I got engaged. It holds a very special place in my heart. I don't think I'll ever get rid of these palettes. I don't think they're sold anymore, so I'm so sorry, but this is the Zodiac palette. Each shade is named after one of the zodiac signs. I believe I used the Taurus, Virgo, definitely the Leo, this one here, maybe a little bit of Aries, and a little bit of this one here, the Gemini. I believe I used those, and then from the Dream Street, I definitely just used some transition shades like this one, probably this one too, and probably this one. So best memory associated with these palettes. If you're interested, I'll put a picture on the screen here of my engagement. Very happy and very surprising day. But yeah, best memory with these. Palette worth the hype. I am going with the e.l.f. bite-size quads. These things are such a bang for your buck. They're $3, you get 4 shades, and they work so well. I have the Rose Water quad. I have the Carnival Candy quad and the Cream and Sugar quad. This one is definitely my most used, but I use it in conjunction with the Carnival Candy. I'll go into both matte shades in both palettes, and I'll use the shimmers from this one. Really enjoy this formula. I got all of mine at Walgreens. It was a buy 2 get 1 free, and I also had rewards, and I paid $1 for all 3 of these. Very proud moment. A palette not worth the hype. I don't have a lot of those in my collection, I must say. I typically gravitate towards eyeshadow palettes that I know I am really going to love. I stick with brands that I know and love. I don't usually go out of my comfort zone very often. I guess I would have to say this one. This is the City Mini palette from Maybelline. This is the Shayla collaboration. I just have a lot of trouble with blending the mattes in here. The shimmers are absolutely beautiful. The mattes have great pigmentation, but blending them is quite difficult in my opinion. And you only get one transition shade, which is, again, quite difficult. So for that reason, I love this purple though. It's so pretty. For that reason, this palette is not worth the hype. Show your favorite palette from your favorite brand. I gotta go with my girl, the So Jaded palette from Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. This had to be my first eyeshadow palette that I absolutely fell in love with. The color story is something that I never thought that I would love, but I adore Kathleen Lights. I think she's a wonderful person. She's great here on YouTube, super informative and extremely funny. And I really wanted to support her by buying this collab, and it is my favorite. I use it all the time. I have a video on my channel. I believe it's 5 looks 1 palette I did with this, so I'll link it up above for you. This has to be my favorite palette from ColourPop. As most of us know, ColourPop releases a lot of palettes all the time, but this, to me, is one of their best. And show your most used palette. Since I have so many palettes, I don't necessarily gravitate towards one particular all the time, but if I had to say one, it would be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. This is my go-to palette whenever I am doing something more extravagant. I love to wear this one. It is a tried and true. I love the shimmers in here. The mattes are beautiful. Can't go wrong with it. Color story is neutral and you can build it up really well. So this is definitely my most used. Alright everybody, so that completes this eyeshadow palette tag video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It is not something I do very often on this channel, but I thought I wanted to do something fun, not necessarily a makeup tutorial or a review, anything like that. So if you liked anything about today's video, you like me, you like Samantha Marsh, Allie Glines, anything about eyeshadow palettes, please give it a like down below. Also be sure to subscribe and hit the post notification bell to be notified every single time I upload. Also go follow me on Instagram. It is at glam_by_Shannon, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I need to put my ring on. Excuse me. Some earrings. Okay. I don't have a mirror, so my phone is my mirror. I hope that's the right hole. That's what she said. Here we go. Now I'm too close. Okay. All right. I have a pile of palettes over here. Let's arrange these accordingly. I have my palette pile. I'm gonna move it over ever so gently. Let's make a new pile here, Shannon. You have multiple piles happening. Ooh. I love... You could have a massive palette in your collection. What did I use in here? Yes, Christian. Ooh, this is rose gold. Huh, I never noticed. This is rose gold.
Beautiful fit. Can I have my sweat glands removed? You're lying to me.
I'm not lying to you.
You can have your sweat glands removed. I'm gonna go research.
Okay. Gotta clean up my area here. I can't really though because my palettes go very places.